Hi, we're trading the ES on a 2000 tick chart with 21 EMA. So price started in this downtrend. I started trading around this area, but price started in this downtrend and this range started forming as I started to trade. And overnight low formed here. Here we had a downtrend break, a couple legs down to the overnight low, and it was a breakout of this range, which you can get this range just off of these highs and this clear resistance right there. And so then we have these two legs down, break out of the range with a good signal bar. I think it looks really good. So I didn't take that. I just wasn't quite focused yet. That was kind of early, but you know, it looks good looking at it now. Clearly, there's enough room for one-to-one before the EMA even, which the EMA doesn't matter as much in the range, but still. So then we have these two legs up, basically a second entry short. You obviously can't take this because it's right in the middle of a flat EMA into the lows of the range. Certainly no way you can take that. Then you start to trend down. Um, this we have like this very bearish bias at this point, so I wouldn't really want to buy um, unless we started going back above the EMA at this point because we'd already broke out, had a breakout pullback of the range. So in order to buy, I would want enough room to the EMA at this point, to be honest. So then we have, which speaking of that, I made a mistake about that over here when I took this loss. So remember what I said about the EMA here. So we had this downtrend. We had a break, a couple attempts at a new low, break, first time lower, second time lower, it failed. Then we rushed above the EMA. We had a break, and then here's really how I saw it. We had this first attempt higher, and then second attempt higher. So if you draw that trend, it's clearly uptrend break, first attempt higher, second attempt higher. It does tick lower there. So first attempt, second attempt, but on a bigger picture, you're going to want to see like breaks of trend lines. So let me just draw that back. So first attempt, second attempt. So it was basically a reversal pattern, after fading the range. So it was basically fading the range and a reversal pattern at the same time. So I thought it looked pretty good. It barely had to go back through the range, like a couple of ticks. But either way, I got 4 points. But then I made a stupid mistake. Let me explain. So just like when I was talking about over here, how because of the bearish bias, I didn't want to enter into the EMA. Right here, I entered into the EMA. Now we do have an overall bearish bias, but if price rushes through the EMA and then holds once, twice, three times consistently, you can't go into the EMA. You can't short into the EMA. So I just overlooked something here because I take trades into the EMA all the time, but those are in ranges and very strong trends if it just barely goes above the EMA. But this, it rushed above the EMA and held three times, and then I shorted directly into the EMA right after taking this winner. And I was really thinking I was going to get a double, almost two wins back to back here, but no. So just, you know, so if it rushes above the EMA and holds, you cannot go short into it. I needed it to rush below the EMA, which I did get something here, but it just bounced right back off the EMA. I just totally overlooked that. But anyway, we have another leg up, stop me out, and then we got this leg down, break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower. Overall, you can look at it as a first entry long, second entry long, failure, and then a lower high. Rushing below the EMA, and then holding twice. So that was actually the good place to go short with enough room down to the overnight lows again, to the new lows of not the overnight lows, but the new lows of the day, I mean. And so, as well as just being a downtrend break, expecting a new low. So I basically knocked out my first trade and then made it up, pretty soon after. But it's just a dumb mistake. It's whatever. That'll happen every now and then. Of course, I'll take losses. And then I'll be like, what am I thinking? That's so obvious, but whatever. So we start to trend down. Here, I'll try to draw a bigger one. I didn't draw this in real time, but looks like we did have this bigger downtrend with a break, new low. Then we have this leg up, then a second leg up, I wasn't really looking for reversals because of how down it was. It clearly had a massive bearish bias. I was not willing to buy at this point. But I was thinking we could still head up higher though. So eventually I just drew this. We have these lows, highs. Highs fit a little better. So we get a break, new high, uptrend played out. Then we rushed back below the EMA. At this point, it's very hard to take a trade. Um, and so we're literally just rushing back and forth above the EMA. It almost looks like a range. I didn't even draw this range in real time, but it looks like there is one there. Lows aren't very consistent though. Either way, I didn't draw that in real time. I'm not going to draw it now. So eventually we had this uptrend, which at first it was more like I tried drawing it off of that, having them like there, and then it just kept going higher, and I could tell that there's some bigger pattern in play. Eventually I just drew it off of that. So we have this uptrend. At this point, I'm starting to look for longs off of the key entry point because clearly we're going higher. You have to stick with the trend. Then we do have this overshoot, but I was thinking it could be, if it's off of there, then it's not an overshoot. So I wasn't totally dissuaded from buying off the key entry point, especially after it's held once, twice, three times, four times, and then fifth time is where I finally bought. And it did have this line going through it. The bigger trend is more likely to win out, especially after we just faded the overnights. So I was pretty confident in this trade. So I waited till this bar to tick higher. Now it was 3 bars stacked up. It doesn't look so bad congestion wise. If there was like another bar, then I definitely wouldn't have taken that. But you know, it was slowly getting higher, and then we had a nice, very bullish bar, and then I entered one tick early, so on the end of the bar with a limit order, stop below the swing, 3.5 points. Ah, jeez. All right, so that was the next trade. At this point, we had an overshoot, which even if it was here, so at this point I was sure we were definitely having an overshoot, and um, so we have this skinny uptrend, we have a break, a couple attempts at a new high, a range started forming. At first I had it with this congestion, and then after we got these couple of swings higher, I moved it up to here. And this trade I thought was pretty good. Um, I was concerned because of the overshoot getting, bearish momentum starting and then breaking out of the trend. But with this range forming, I really did think that, hey, there's enough room back to the range for a one-to-one trade. I think it's good for trying to fade the range. So 2 legs down, downtrend played out with a break and a new low. I personally thought it was pretty good. So that's 2.25 points. Pretty small trade, but it's a good trade. So yeah, then we turned down pretty fast. I guess I was kind of right with it not really holding very well because of the overshoot leading to a break, but there was enough room. So key entry point held one more time, pushed up. We bounced back at the range. We had a breakout pullback, 2 attempts at a breakout pullback there, and then we finally rushed down. And then this is what's forming now. We had a downtrend break, new low. Looks like a new downtrend could be forming here. But yeah, that's the whole day. Um, so yeah, that's just what I saw today. Yeah, yeah, this isn't very, yeah, and also I was thinking, oh, and also this uptrend break, new high, but really this was the main uptrend break, 2 attempts at a new high. So, I really should have just been more careful with the CMA because, and that's just trading. You're going to overlook stuff every now and then and be like, how did I do that? Um, you know, but it's not a big deal, because I had some good winners after that. So, but about that, yeah. But if you see it rush above the EMA like that and then hold, that's really telling you something. That's telling you it's bullish, because I was saying before, when the EMA is in a range like that, it's a lot easier to go into the EMA. Especially like here, there's a big bearish bias, so I'd be a little bit more worried. But if you have like a healthy range and the EMA is going through the range, if you have to enter into the EMA inside of a healthy range, the EMA is unlikely to affect your trade. But if it's like this, it just rushes above and then holds consistently. you don't want to enter the opposite way into the EMA. I don't know what I was thinking, but um, you know. So just be careful with the EMA. There's, you don't want to go short into it unless it's one of the exceptions, like in a range. Um, that's just the point I'm trying to get across here. So anyway, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hope y'all learned something. Learned something about the EMA maybe. Um, hope y'all had a good trading day. Hope y'all didn't take this loss like I did. Um, and yeah, have a good day.